Welcome back, everyone. This is the first of its kind. It is going to be the testing series. Now, just want to first start off by saying I'm going to test the edge on this Spyderco YoJumbo. It's a sprint run with the peel applied carbon fiber scales and an S90V steel, stainless steel. This is courtesy on loan from Mike at Boston Bladeworx. So Mike is a knife sharpener. He sent me the knife with his fresh edge put on it so I can test it out. And I dropped a video prior to this one, and it was primarily on the review of the knife itself. This video will be focusing on how sharp his edge is. So it's a little sticker right here, Boston Bladeworx. He sent me along a poker chip, also with his logo, business name, what he does. And then last but not least, a pen. So Mike, really appreciate it. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough. All right. I was trying to figure out what was the best way to make a comparison in terms of the testing. And while I don't have a stock YoJumbo in my collection, I do have a Yojimbo too. And in my mind, the edge geometry is as close as possible without any modifications to the edge. So they're both hollow grinds, and that's the best comparison I can make in terms of trying to give you a good representation to what Mike's edge can do. Also, just quickly, I will be dropping all the necessary resources in the description below, so check that out. Give you a direct contact to Mike at Boston Bladeworx. That way, after you see what his edge can do, and we'll talk a little bit about the process he took to create the edge after we do the testing. All right, so it's probably going to put my edge to shame. The edge I have on the Yojimbo 2 is from my Work Sharp Ken Onion with the blade grind attachment, and so it gave it a convex edge. Let's see. So first I want to do is test a bit on the paper from this magazine. It's not as stiff as printer paper, so I'm hoping it gives a better idea of what the edge can do. So I'm just gonna rip out a few pages. 1, 2. All right, so we'll test the Yojimbo first. All right, and really, I think Mike's edge is going to put mine to shame. I have transition sharpening using a Precision Adjust Elite, which keeps it at a V-shaped edge rather than a convex edge. But let's see. All right. Okay, so you take a look. You see how, I mean, it's cutting it, but you can see how much it tears the paper as well. So it's not very refined in a sense. I mean, it works, right? No complaints. But let's take some more cuts. And to give myself a more competitive edge, I stropped my knife prior to starting this video. So it's not doing a bad job. I'm actually impressed with it, considering I wasn't expecting too much. After a while, I realized I didn't really care for the convex edge, so I did get a new sharpener. All right, so this is Boston Bladeworx, Mike's edge that he put, and let's take it out. Oh my gosh. I'm barely touching it, and it's just gliding through. And if you take a look how crisp that edge is, because you don't see all the little kind of pulled edge. So really, that's just a testament to how can you say this? How fine the edge is compared to the Yojimbo 2. Right, you see that it does grab it a little bit and you'll see little splinters of paper, whereas his edge, just barely touching it, goes right through. And now one of the best ways to really test it is if I can just cut straight down. Wow, that's incredible. This is a little torn, so that's not fair. Let's try this side. That's extremely sharp. Extremely sharp. I don't think I've ever gotten an edge that to that extent before. So this is very exciting. And I don't really do too many edge testing videos. This is my first one, but I wanted to showcase the edge that he was so kind to provide when he sent this over for me to review. All right, so here's some cardboard. I'm gonna take my Yojimbo, I'm gonna slice it through and just kind of get an idea of what it takes to kind of push it down. I'm gonna change up so that way I don't slice up my mat. And Liquid Death, I'm giving them a plug right now. My buddy turned me on to this and I like it. I usually don't care for carbonated flavored water, but well, I'm not sure if this is actually sparkling water, yeah, but there's actually some calories in here. Okay, hold on. You know what? We have another piece of cardboard I can use. So I'll use this as the board and I'll cut. No, I'll do this. All right. So here's the Yojimbo 2. So if you take a look, again, the edge is not that refined because you can see these little jagged edges as it cuts through. Let's take a look at the Yojimbo. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's cleaner in my opinion compared to what you see here. See, this feels like a little, I don't know how to describe it, furry, I guess. Whereas this edge feels very clean. Let's see how the edge holds up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the Yojimbo. Let's see. And I'll cut these up to little bitty pieces of paper, cardboard. Do one more. Oh man, I'm gonna have a huge mess to pick up after this. It's worth it, right? All right, there we go. Okay. Now, what I would like to see after, and that wasn't like extensive testing or anything, but I'm curious to how well it now slices that paper that from that magazine. All right. So Yojimbo 2 did not cut nearly as much cardboard as the Yojimbo, so let's see. It's still slicing, it's not bad. I'm actually very impressed with what I've done with this edge. Nothing as near as impressed by the edge on Mike's knife, but so that, let's take a look. So that, it's still not very refined, but let's take a look at see what this can do. Still just hair popping. And I say hair popping even though I'm not cutting any hair with it, but so refined, right? That's incredible. Let me just kind of clear this off my mats. Okay, let's get this cardboard out. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm not gonna give any trade secrets away, but Mike was kind enough to provide me the progression, also the system he uses, the sharpening system. And so I'll share a little bit about it, but basically he does sharpen his knives on a TSPROF, so TS Prof KO3 Pro. And he uses premium CBN stones, the HAP stones. And he started at 80 grit, and then as he progressed all the way to 8,000 grit. And then he goes and uses diamond emulsion on kangaroo leather and gets it to, starts from 6 micron all the way to 0.1 micron. And so that is how he gets his edge. It's incredible. I will, I'll post some, incorporate some images of, some of his work. So that way you can take a look, just kind of showcase how he works his magic. Mike, I will make sure I clean this up before I send it back to you. But really appreciate you guys tuning in. This is the first in the testing series. I know I didn't do anything extravagant, like, cut anything amazing or chop down pieces of wood or anything like that. But for all practical purposes, if you need something that's really sharp and just an edge that's going to be able to transition from breaking down cardboard to still fine enough to continue cleanly slicing magazine paper, then Mike is your guy. Again, Mike from Boston Bladeworx. This is his mirrored edge. It's probably a little dirty now after all the cardboard, but I'll clean it up. And keep a lookout. I'll probably draw some other content regarding his sharpening skills and showcasing this edge. All right, well, as always, really appreciate everyone tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Drop any comments, any questions you have. I really want to give a direct link to Mike at Boston Bladeworx. So if you're looking for sharpening services, he is your man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay frosty.